This podcast is owned and copywritten by Renewed Mind Music and Media Group. Any repost or rebroadcast is prohibited without written express consent by Renewed Mind Music Group and its entities. Thank you. It's a good day to renew your mind. I'm Dave Mitchell, founder and CEO of Renewed Mind Music and Media Group, and you're listening to the first episode of Renew Your Mind, an audio podcast show where I interview artists and entrepreneurs who are making an impact in the marketplace and around the world. And on today's episode, I host a phone interview between two impactful, powerful women entrepreneurs, Kim Adams of Chicago, Illinois, and Christy of Namibia Africa. They're embarking on a huge, exciting campaign for Christmas to get 500 dolls in the hands of 500 girls in orphanages and hospitals in Namibia, Africa. Stay tuned and renew your mind. Let's go into it.
Such a pleasure to meet you, Christy, Christy/Taati. And always a pleasure to talk to you, Kim/Tamiko. Such an exciting time, just in this season right now. And so want to also just thank you for your time too. Appreciate you setting time aside and things like that. And just want to just talk to the both of you for such a universal, massive project that you all are starting. I mean, this is ginormous, if they use that word in Namibia, maybe or maybe not.
Dave was laughing at me because I'm like, I never even heard of Namibia.
Me either. We both were like, okay, it sounds great.
Thank you. This is it's one of those, me and Kim was saying, it's just a surreal experience, and we still can't fathom just how we got to meet, become friends, and we technically, when I was on my trip to the States, I hope I'm not jumping any questions, but I kept introduced as Taati's chaperone. And everybody knows Taati, and then they'll look at me and they'll be like, Taati's chaperone, Taati's mother. I'm like, yes, it's fine. Now at least I have a fellow chaperone because Kim and I are now Taati and Tamiko chaperones.
Yes.
Club of our own.
Yes, they're our babies. We gave birth to them.
That's exactly right.
That's true.
Oh my goodness, and I love your accent. Oh, I love it. I mean that's just how you talk. So forgive me for saying accent. I'm trying no disrespect at all, but I would just send you a bunch of words just to say, like say pear, say pumpkin. I mean just. I absolutely love it. Oh,
happening on here, so
it's such a delight. I mean, you could probably get angry and be like, "Oh, that's so sweet." No, I'm really angry. So, Christy, Kim tells me you have a background as a chemical engineer. Let's start there. How did that even happen? I mean, that's not even your normal career path, like, outside of working, a retail place or a bowling alley. No, I want to be a chemical engineer. How did that happen?
Seriously.
Yes, well, let me just say, I come from a family where the careers were already pre-chosen at birth. I think you're either going to become a teacher or a doctor, because that's what my parents grew up knowing. My mom's a teacher, so she's like, you just have to become a teacher. I mean, it's a very respectable career. And I think I'm a rebel, so when I got to high school, I still didn't really know what I wanted to become, but I knew I didn't want to become a doctor. I fainted at the sight of blood. Become a teacher. And I went through the science stream. So when it came to choosing studies, I thought I need a job where people would kind of think I'm smart for doing it, but it doesn't require wearing makeup. Yes, because I cannot wear makeup every day or high heels and get fired. I cannot. Wear and jeans and t-shirts. So it's perfect fit, perfect fit.
That's awesome.
Wow, amazing.
But disclaimer, I think halfway through speaking of physics course the second time around, I was like, yeah, maybe that teaching scheme wasn't too bad. But it was too late, so I had to go through and make sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the background.
And do you have siblings, older or younger sisters and brothers?
Yes. I'm the oldest of four kids.
Okay.
But I technically grew up I was brought up by my grandmother.
Okay.
So I'm never ever allowed to utter the word having four siblings. That just doesn't happen because I grew up with so many cousins around.
Wow.
So technically, let's just say between you and me, the favorite grandchild who got away with everything else. But I grew up in a really big family. It was amazing.
Oh wow. And anyone else like that you saw growing up, either doing entrepreneur type of where did the entrepreneurial drive come from? Like someone around family or friends or?
Honestly, I have no idea because I grew up. I actually was a bookworm, so
okay.
I was just going to go through university and get a good job and do the normal thing. I want to say my whole entrepreneurial thing came up when I got to university, but then I did some reflection the other day and I realized I'm lying. When I was in grade 1, I came to my mom. My mom lived in town, so I went to a school by her, but then I still went to visit with grandma over the holidays. So she had this files. They were just yellow files, folders rather, that's what they were. And in my head I was like, why can't I sell this? So I told her this good idea about how tomorrow from school I'm just going to stand by the side of the road, this junction where I see a lot of people walking past, and they'll just buy these files because we could make so much money out of them. She wasn't impressed. Let's just say.
Wow.
A beating and some scolding later. My entrepreneurial spirits were thrashed temporarily, obviously. I started making. She was a tailor as well as a teacher and a tailor as well. So I think I saw her doing this. She just doesn't understand. She's actually the one who lit the whole entrepreneurship fire in me because she's always had, now we call it the cool term, side hustle of making dresses. And every time there's a wedding season, our house is full and I have to put on buttons or cut threads or stuff like that. So I suppose that's where it actually comes from.
Oh wow, amazing. And then moving to the doll. So how with seeing that and I see now with the tailoring and things like that how that translates to the apparel and to the clothes for the doll. Where did the introduction to the doll come from? Where did that spark come from?
I think a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, I did one of those crazy things and actually took an unpaid sabbatical from work to go. I went to try study the business science 1-year degree. And then at the same time, there was the U.S. Embassy here at home was holding they called it a social entrepreneurship boot camp. So I was intrigued. So I applied to that. And being the engineer, I went in with a very bold idea of converting plastic to fuel that can be used for electricity or something like that. And it was impressive. And I attended this trainings once a month with this idea. And they always brought in an expert from overseas to come and talk to us, say, for 2 or 3 days, take us through the steps of setting up a business, but with a specifically geared towards social entrepreneurship because it's a new trend and a new thing. And towards the end of this boot camp, we were to pitch our ideas to an external panel, not the people who've been seeing us over the months. And I sort of got wind of how much the prize money was, and I thought to myself, well, that prize money is not going to fund my renewable energy idea. It's huge. And at the same time, ironically, I was shopping for a doll for my goddaughter, and I went into a very famous toy shop here, and I told them, I'm looking for a doll, but I want a black doll. And I don't want those baby ones that are on the shelves that we grew up. I want a doll, tall, slender, beautiful, exactly like her, but black. And I was told we don't sell black dolls. I thought that's not right. And I believe in all things just aligning when you put your thoughts out into the universe. Because fast forward the next day, a few days later, I'm reading a magazine about this woman in South Africa who started a black doll line, and I saw this is actually becoming a thing, and there's a guy in Nigeria who's doing the same thing, and I thought, I like this, but I don't want it to be just a doll. I want the doll to tell a story.
Nice.
I eventually came up with Taati. Taati comes from my language name, Taati, which basically says my father has said I am. And I interpreted that as, if my father says I'm precious and I'm beautiful and I'm all things, I can become whatever I want to become, then nobody else has to tell me otherwise.
Wow.
So that's the story I wanted to tell. I wanted this doll to tell young kids that they're beautiful just as they are. Because growing up, I had a neighbor. She was adopted by Indian German parents, and so she had a lot of dolls growing up, and whenever she grew tired of one of them, she would always pass it down to me. And I'm the one with the sewing machines in my house, so my doll was always dressed fashionably, designed by my 8-year-old self. So I thought back then. At the same time, I actually paused and thought to myself, when I was 8, I actually always thought to myself, when I grow up, I'll be tall and blonde and busty like my doll. And if that's how I thought when I was 8, what is happening to our kids right now?
Wow.
And I thought, we need to, let's Taati correct this. Let's Taati contribute to this conversation. And yes, and before I know it, she's jet setting and in the States and by doing all kinds of crazy things. So.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. And the same question to you, Kim. Like your background and like what was your major like in college, and where did you start off? What direction did you start off, like high school, college, like when you thought about a career?
Yeah, when I graduated from high school, like you, Christy, my mom was like, go into nursing. And I'm like, I don't want to go into nursing. And so she's like, well, when you go to college, what are you going to major then? And I said, well, I really don't know. So the easiest thing was like business administration. So I was like, okay, I'll just sign up for business administration. So I was taking classes in that, and I was doing horrible when it came to economics.
Oh, no.
Science, I did horrible.
Oh, no.
I hated it. I used to, in class, when it was economics class, I would just look at the clock because I knew I was going to fail.
Oh, no.
I would look at the clock like, get me out of here. I hate this. So after the first year of getting bad grades, I took a minor, and the minor was in communications. And so I was doing great in that class, and I'm like, why am I doing great in this and doing horrible in my major? So I switched it, and so I ended up majoring in communications with a minor in marketing. So I changed it. So in my second year in college, but that was so I lost a year. Because I went to, I initially started off at an all-black university, but then when I changed my major, I wanted to go to another school where I ended up transferring, but my credits didn't exactly transfer with me. And so I lost credit, so I had to extend an extra year. So I spent 5 years versus 4 years in college. And so, but once I found my grounding and my footing, that communications was what, it comes natural, it's what I do, I love it. I stayed there, and I was excelling. I got A's and B's in those classes, so so I was able to find myself. It took me a year in college, before my second year, really to find myself, but once I identified that, I made that my career choice. And so I was always intrigued about commercials, advertising, and things like that. So so when I graduated with a communications degree, I immediately started looking for advertising jobs. I didn't get one right away. My first job out of college was at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It was a rent-a-car place where they had rentals. And I worked there for 6 months. Thank goodness I didn't have to stay there longer than 6 months. Some people, when you get out of college, you don't go into your career path right away.
True. Very true.
So I spent 6 months working for the rental place, and then I ended up getting a job at an advertising agency, and that's kind of was my entry into the industry. And now, fast forward, 20 years later, I graduated in 1997. So fast forward 20 years later, I'm a media director at an advertising agency. And so, yeah. So that's kind of my background, what I do. Full time, I'm a media director at an advertising agency, so I do media planning and buying. So all about identifying target audiences, purchasing media on TV, radio, website, things like that, online. So that's what I do in my profession. So I actually I left my where I'm currently working. I was here for 10 years. I left for a year and a half to go do some work in the marketing department at my church. And when I was there, I was able to meet Dave, and so I met him when I went to work for the church. And so I stayed in the marketing department for a year and a half, and then my old boss called me to come back to my old place of employment. So so now I'm back. I've been back a year and a half, and so I had to go away to realize, and so I understand what you mean by taking a sabbatical, because sometimes you have to go away to realize what your true calling and purpose is. And I understand marketing. I understand the theory, the concept, and how to do it, but my strength is advertising. And so I had to really identify that space. And so once I did, everything started snowballing and rolling for me. I was able to launch my business. After returning back to advertising, I launched my business, Grace to Be, and that's only been for a year now. I launched it in August of 2016. But I was able to refresh myself, refresh my mind, renew my mind, and realize what my true purpose and calling is. And it's to encourage, empower, and elevate others. And I'm all about inspiration. I'm all about positive energy. What you put out, I want good things to go out. So when people come into my presence, I want them to feel nothing but encouragement, love, empowerment, be inspired around me. That's the kind of energy that I want to put out and I want around me at all times. And so that's how I came up with, Dave and I were in a conversation, and how I came up with my name, Grace to Be. We were talking about just people walking in their true identity, embracing who they are, living their truth, walking in their grace. And literally I said, well, you know what? It's all about being Grace to Be. And he was like, wow, that's it.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yep, that's it. It's all about walking in your grace and being graceful and being Grace to Be. And that's literally how I came up with my name. And it's like God has just been opening up doors everywhere I go and having me connect with the right people. So now I understand I do not meet people by accident.
Right.
I was Demetrius Evans. She purchased a doll from you when you came on your very first visit to the I mean, and I know Demetrius because she went to the same business school that I did and graduated from. Okay. But she also teaches the law course in this school. So the law course that she teaches, I knew her from that. And so when she fast forward, after I started my business, we were just connecting. I invited her out to my event, and now she asked me if I could help her with her marketing needs for her law firm. So in talking to her about her law firm, Dave and I had a conference call with her to see how we can help her promote her business. And so in that conversation, Dave asked her those questions about, well, what are you really passionate about? The conversation turned completely when he asked her that question.
On a dime. I mean, she was talking about, doing something. I think it was for a particular car company, and she's like, but I don't like working on that. She's like, my daughter had this doll. I said, well, what do you want? It distracts me from what I really want to do. Okay, here's the question. What do you really want to do? And she said, I want to help, and I want to help. I have a friend in Africa, and it's like you can hear the energy rise on the call. And speaking of the word energy, it takes me back to something you said, Christy, and I focus a lot on keywords and things like that. When you talked about renewable energy, and then with you, Kim, you talked about communication and how those two things tie together. You communicate renewable energy from both of you as beings, giving something positive to renew people around you and to renew their energy and things like that. And so how did that communication bring you to Tamiko as a character to help young girls? Like, so how did that turn, like, from communication major, and how did that go to where did Tamiko come from?
Seriously, okay. So when I was a little girl, my middle name is Tamiko. So Tamiko, I never really understood what Tamiko meant. I'm like, okay, it's spelled different. It's not Tamika with an A at the end, it's with an O. And so I asked my mom one time, why did you name me Kimberly Tamiko? And she said, well, I was in the hospital and I was in there with an Asian woman, and she said you should name her Tamiko. And I'm like, and she's like, okay.
Wow.
She made that my middle name. I said, okay,
that easy.
but still, just that easy.
Wow.
So I'm like, I still don't understand, really what it means. And so once I found out, and actually Dave told me, so that's like what, I've been living with this name for 42 years and 43 years and didn't know until a year ago. But anyway, so he told me, Kim, it's a Japanese meaning. It's derived from Japanese, and it means beautiful child. And then I started looking up other meanings, and it said child of the people. And I'm like, whoa. Wow. So when I was a little girl, I would play around with business names. And one business name I came up with was Miko's Ink. And so I thought about that as a child, but I put it away years ago. And so after I launched my business a year ago, it was brought back into my spirit of how to encourage and empower little girls, and how to teach them that they can be different, but they don't have to be look at themselves as different in that way. Not like different, I'm unacceptable, but different, I'm unique.
Nice.
Yeah. So, so with that in mind, and all about empowerment, encouragement, I'm like, you know what? I want to do a children's series, and I'm going to make it I Am Tamiko. And so I bought the domain name, for the website domain name, before even knowing how I'm going to fill it in. But I said, okay, I'm gonna put my faith out there, and I'm going to say, I believe I Am Tamiko is something. It's a book series, it's a TV series, it's something. So I put my faith out there, and I bought the domain name a year ago, last September. And so I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there and see how God fills in, this story. And so now, fast forward, now Taati's coming along. So it's like, man, okay, he's filling in the story. He's filling in. He's bringing the characters. He's bringing the people who are like-minded. Exactly. Yeah.
Just to add to that, we keep going on about just how surreal everything gets together. The funny story is my shipment of dolls arrived late when I came to the States, so I technically only had 5 dolls.
Oh my gosh.
And that I think was the first doll that I sold, because we were now told you have a showcase in Chicago and then you have a last showcase in DC, so you have to make sure you always carry them. And I thought, okay, so now it just has to be this show and tell, and I can't sell any. But I think with my first showcase, I was like, okay, I think I can get rid of one. It's fine. And she was like, can I please have it? And I was like, I mean, it's amazing. I'm lost for words every time I think of this connection, and just like you're saying, he's it's like God feeling in the characters. My favorite saying is he's feeling in the colors.
Yes.
To come to life.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes, it's amazing. Once we start walking. And we talked about that before, Christy. Once we start walking, it starts coming towards us, and we just have to start moving in that direction. And that's exactly what's happening.
Man, talk about moving. And the first time, so Chicago was the first city you came to when you came to the States, Christy?
Yes, so we program, I think, for African women in entrepreneurship. So it was hosted by the State Department. And so our first stop was Chicago, and then we were split into sectors, and I was part of the Home Crafts and Deco group. So then we went to New Mexico, doing Santa Fe for the folk art market, and then went to that state that I can't pronounce, Albuquerque.
Okay.
Albuquerque. I think that's what.
So New Mexico, and then after New Mexico was New York, obviously, which was just a surreal experience. I keep telling everyone, well, I noticed that they say the television live, but I have never been more sorely disappointed in how television my whole life has misrepresented New York. Because it is much more alive than what it looks in the movie. It is just electricity in the air. That was just on a level of its own. And then DC was the last stop. So that was a whole trip.
Wow.
A total of 3 weeks. So it was a really, really great trip, and we got to see businesses and speak to some really influential people, and just get an understanding of how things are done in the States. But at the same time, we were 30 different women from different African countries. So just that meeting on its own was just something else. It was quite beautiful. And the fact that you're amongst people you're meeting for the first time, and they keep reinforcing how your idea, how big they think the idea can become, was just overwhelming.
Wow.
But in a good way.
Wow. Christy, when was that? Was that last year or this year?
It was this year.
Oh my God.
Yes, so we did the last 3 weeks of July.
Amazing.
You were right here. You were in Chicago. I'm like right here.
Preparing for your Grace to Be event.
Yeah. Wow.
But it just, us not meeting in Chicago, I think makes the story even more interesting. Like, you met how?
I know. But you only had 5 dolls. 5 represents grace.
Yes.
Talk about wow. There
And
you
the
go.
one that you sold, which was to Demetrius, the one, and she's the one that connected us. And you, and Chicago was your first stop. I mean, I'm just like.
And then to DC, where you came from.
And the last event, I'm from Washington D.C. area. I grew up in that area. So your first trip was where I live now. Your last trip was where I came from. Ain't that something?
Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about these the campaign, this huge world takeover campaign.
Woohoo!
Taati and Tamiko and Taati, the power of T.
You know?
Taati, God said so, and we are the children of the people.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
It's amazing. I mean, like everything else is fluid and moves in motion. We literally connected. The first call, as soon as I heard your voice, Christy, I'm like, okay, are we relatives? Like, so sweet.
It sounds like we're texting up from.
I know. I know.
And box, and now like.
I know. It was such a beautiful connection that I'm just like, man, from hello, it was on. And so, just through our collaboration, and it didn't take long, all of 2 weeks before we came up with the campaign.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking at the speed of light, there's no time.
No time. And once we both were in agreement, and, I didn't want to do anything without talking to Christy. I wanted it to be a collaboration and a partnership of this is our project, and I'm going to go just as hard for it as I know she is. And so it as far as I feel like it's a give back to little girls and children who have felt abandoned or left out or forgotten or they lonely. There's a lot of hurting, lonely children out there, and how do we just be the face and the voice to make a difference?
Exactly.
Wow.
That's so true.
I was just going to share with Christy's vision is to not just start in Namibia. Her vision is to start with Namibia with the 13 different tribes there, but her ultimate vision is to expand this to the whole continent of Africa, all 54 countries.
Amazing.
Yes, because the vision is when I started with Taati, it was okay. So she's pretty. She's in her pink dress, and that's because that's my cultural cloth. And I thought, no, but I need a doll for every other tribe, and kids cannot feel left out. So, and we started naming them, and I thought, let's call the Taati and Friends. And then I came on the trip, and I thought, okay, we can actually have Taati and have 54 friends if we get a friend from the continent, because the dual idea of teaching kids about identity is also about embracing where they come from, culture, and we start moving to a point where we only put on our cultural outfits during weddings and ceremonies, and the rest of the time they're packed away. But you want this conversation to continue on a daily basis. You want kids to be curious about where they come from and not shun it, because it's basically what defines us. So it's get kids to learn about each other's tribes and each other's cultures, not just within the country but within the continent, it takes away from things like prejudice, and we judge each other when we don't understand where we're coming from.
That's right.
But if a doll or a kid can teach you that, it works on a lot of frontiers. I feel it's such a big vision. And now Tamiko is like one of Taati's first international friends.
I'm so honored. I am so honored to take this journey with you because it's going to be amazing. This is, I mean, who wouldn't want this doll? I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of this great mission that, I mean, it's awesome. I just, it's happening so quickly, but you know what? It's also happening in the right timing. You know, like, you know, if we would have tried to make this connection like a year ago, like before we were ready to be here, it wouldn't have worked. But because we're in the right season and the right time, we're meeting the right people, the right connections. I mean, it's going to catch on like rapid fire. If you think we're on fire right now, imagine once the word really gets out. And yeah,
we'll be blazing basically.
Yes. Yes.
It's like we were saying the other day. It's bigger than both of us.
It is.
Yes. And it has a life of its own, and that's the amazing part. I just the other day, I was telling Kim the other day, Dave, that my mom came over and I was telling her about what a big experience this was for me, because then I got to this airport and I had to get to the one gate. I had to take a train, something else. So my mom says to me, but we just followed each other, right? I said, followed each other with who? Because she was under the impression we at least went as a group. And I said, it was not just you. I said, no, it was me and Taati. And the next day she says, over dinner, she says, the doll? In the whole country, they picked the doll. I was like, the doll and me, can we please look at me? She couldn't fathom this. And that's just how and when I think about it, I also just get goosebumps just thinking about it. And also to add, this is a program that, unlike a lot of programs that the embassies and the State Department hold, this particular one you do not apply for. You either get nominated or the embassy sort of remembers you and then says, okay, we want you to go in.
Man, yeah. That speaks to the timing. It's been chosen like from the beginning of time that this time is now for you two to meet and the two dolls to meet and everything and the doll taking such a path to empower and to give little girls and one of the key words that both of you said earlier about identity, the identity through the dolls. That's so huge.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Wow.
It really is. It's amazing. And it also, as I was researching the different tribes in Namibia, I was even enlightened about, oh my gosh, I was like, I couldn't even work that day. I was so busy researching and like, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. And to learn my culture and heritage and to see the diversity of the different tribes and the different women and the different looks, and I was just like, this is beautiful. We are so beautiful. We are so beautiful.
We definitely are. You made such a beautiful collage. I thought, oh wow, this looks amazing.
It does.
So it really does. It does. And you can just imagine how much more beauty we'll be able to uncover, because somebody did ask me, did I have to research and get to learn some more info about the tribes, the other tribes other than mine? And I was like, absolutely, because we don't know everything about each other.
Right.
And this would be a fun way to learn. And Kim and I came up with a Namibia to Cairo kind of trip where we just stop through every country and we make a friend, and she has a name very true to that country. And by the time we get to the top of Africa, we have all these characters holding hands. Like,
wow. Oh boy.
Quite a visit.
It is, but you know what? We both believe it. We both believe it, and we're going straightway. We're going just forward because we both believe in the vision. We've already seen it in our head. We've already seen it in our heart, and we're just walking towards it. And we're not stopping. This has just begun. I mean, oh my God, I'm so excited, and it's an honor to be a part of this journey because I'm sure that we're both gonna learn so much along this path and way, and be a blessing to other people. You know, like that's what it's about. That's what
absolutely.
It's about. I think that's the bottom line. The effect in just the contribution you can make to the conversation or whatever it may be. That in its own is more than enough.
Yeah, I mean, and just how the power of collaboration, the power of one person with a vision and two people with the vision cannot be stopped, and all three of us have much vision. I mean, so for us all to come together and it's not competition. We're all collaborating. We're on the same mission. We're for the same purpose, and the purpose is to serve others and to be a blessing and to pour back and to give back and to see the results of how much your, people's contributions and how a little can make a lot. So even if people are giving, $10, $5, $15, whatever, no amount is too small because it all comes together and it amounts to, more than enough because God can multiply that thing, And so I'm just overwhelmed and excited. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and we're not done seeing the results yet. Imagine the looks on those girls' faces when they receive it.
Yes.
Exactly. But I think that's when it becomes extremely priceless.
It does.
That you cannot.
No.
You cannot at all.
Yeah. So that's where we are. That's where we're going, and we're not stopping. This is just I see it as a continual campaign, and this is long term. I mean, I see every year. I see this being an annual thing. Every year we introduce a new doll. So this is a limited edition. Kind of. It's very priceless. It's very precious, and this year we introduced Taati from whatever tribe you want to introduce, and then we have Taati's friend from the other tribe in Namibia, and then it's awesome.
It is. It's huge. I can't stop saying it's huge and amazing and awesome.
And other countries in Africa are going to want it too. This thing, they're going to want to duplicate this.
Definitely. That's the idea. You want to contribute to this conversation because it's for all kids.
Right.
That's right.
For all the kids.
Right. Right. So I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for your vision and grateful that you dared to do something so different. It's different from what you are doing professionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have a desire to make dolls, but it's not about me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Wow. It's not about me. I'm like, I was laughing with Dave the other night. I'm like, it's funny because I don't even like to see dolls made. It spooks me out to see eyeballs and to see heads detached. and no arms, and that spooks me out. I'm like, I don't want to see none of that. Just give me the final whole doll.
Somebody has to put on overalls and do that. So don't worry, I'm your girl.
Let someone else do that. I don't want to see no pieces of dolls come in this.
So it's clear, ladies and gentlemen, Kim will not be a part of the manufacturing process.
I will not. No, not at all. I will not be there. Don't count on me. However, I will be a part of distribution. So if you,
there you go.
I'll be. Right.
So for those listening in and wanting to help and contribute, explain to them what's needed. How can the listeners what do they need to do to join in spreading the message and to help with the telling a story from both Taati and Tamiko. What can we do to help and contribute in this campaign?
Mm-hmm. Well, our goal is to distribute these dolls for Christmas to
awesome.
little girls in Namibia who are in orphanages and hospitals. So our whole mission, we have a goal of 500 dolls to distribute to 500 girls.
Nice.
And so that is our goal number. Now we're not stopping there. We are believing for a higher number, but that is our goal. We're asking for people to contribute on the GoFundMe page that we've set up. They can go to GoFundMe, and it's listed under I Am Tamiko, Give a Doll campaign. People can also go to my website. It's grace2be.com. That's GRACE, the number 2, BE.com. There's a homepage set up where you can just click on it, and it'll take you right to the GoFundMe page. So Christy and I are really excited about this campaign. We're both working. I'm working here in the U.S. on it, and she's working in Africa on it, and we are just excited because we know that this is a difference maker. We know this is a game changer, not only for Namibia, but it's a game changer for the whole continent of Africa, and that's what we're on. And Christy, and if you want to add some words as well.
Yes. In fact, I think that the exciting part of the campaign is the no-show gala dinner that Kim has also come up with. I think that you should talk more about that. That's my favorite.
Yes.
That to all my contacts, and everybody thinks it's such a unique idea.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the no-show, I actually got the idea from a friend of mine. We were talking about a clever way to have it as an event, a fundraiser event, and she came up with the clever way of doing a red carpet no-show gala. So instead of people spending the money to buy fancy dresses and fancy, getting all decked out, by getting dressed up to come out to the event, we want people to take that money and donate it towards the Give a Doll campaign, the Taati and Tamiko Christmas campaign. So, again, through conversation and collaboration, that's how that idea came about. But it is unique. It's unique, it's fun, and it's beneficial.
Very unique.
The purpose, the whole underlying purpose is to benefit the little girls in hospitals and orphanages in Namibia. And so, there's clever ways that to promote it, and I thought this was just awesome. So, I received that idea from a friend, and, I think it gets people kind of excited. So you're not just saying, can you donate to this fundraiser? No, it's purposeful. It's meaningful. And then I've also been sharing that on the flip side, it gives full circle because now we're offering opportunities for women in Namibia for job creation because they're making they're making the outfits, they're making the they're dressing the dolls. I mean, so it's creating that. It's creating joy and happiness for the little girls, and it gives Namibia exposure. It gives the whole country exposure.
Right. We were two people that didn't know it was there.
Because I was just saying, I was telling Kim as well that when we started with the idea of the dolls, we actually thought the outfits don't all have to look the same. I mean, there's a tribe that makes all their dresses from patchwork, and they cut up different pieces of materials, and that's why their clothes are colorful. So what we do is we now go to different tailors, especially at the end of the wedding season when everybody's done making dresses, and we collect this scrapped fabric that was going to be thrown away, and which is going to not have a second life, and that's what we make out of it. So it also there's a lot of beautiful aspects to the whole party process. Yeah. So it's quite amazing.
Yeah. It's also a sponsorship opportunity because to work with manufacturing companies or dress manufacturers or tailors or people who don't use the scraps of the pieces. Those scraps or those unusable pieces of cloth are used to make the dolls because the pieces are small enough that people making clothing can't use them, but we can.
Oh, wow.
A Taati's outfit you can get out of an arm of a dress, for example. It's delicate work, but it's beautiful, and that just makes the whole process more cost-effective, such that all the resources are actually pulled in the right direction, and that's what makes it all quite amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow.
And even here in the, because I'm even thinking fast forward to the next campaign. It's like, okay, how do we even get, sponsors? Like here we have like a Joanne Fabrics here. Like, how do we connect with them for patterns and clothes and things like that for people that come in there and make garments? What do you do with your scraps? What do you do with those pieces? So maybe, even that, we could send those to you, even if it's here in the States, we could say, okay, can we get your scraps for, I don't know what we can call it, but, to make a difference. We're sending these over to create opportunities. Yeah.
The possibilities are limitless.
Yeah.
With this project.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, we were talking about right now the mold is the same for all of the Taati dolls, but we want to differentiate them eventually. I think that's one of your goals.
Yes, that's where the engineer in me comes in and thinking I can make this. So we want to differentiate them so that the dolls are unique to the different regions that they represent. Because now it's one mold, it's one doll, and then she gets dressed up in different outfits. But, I mean, we were talking about creating animations for the dolls and actually doing a reverse engineering and rather create the animations because that I have Kim now. That's what I was thinking. And then we can create the doll modeled on a model that we're fine with, and then the story doesn't have to stop and wait for the doll to be made. And by the time the doll comes out, it's actually mirroring this character or this little girl that we have found. So it's a huge project for this one.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. And also, I don't know if you know Demetrius' background, Demetrius Evans, who bought one of your dolls, but she's an international trade attorney. And so one of her, missions, she's like, Taati needs to be here in the U.S., Taati needs to be here in the U.S., not just in Namibia. And so it's even, if that is one of your desires, like how do we, I mean, there's nothing on those shelves that look like her here either.
Nothing.
Absolutely. So that's, oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I would love to see. Taati, 13. Taati Namibia, Taati Kenya, Taati, Uganda, Taati,
it's this exciting project where you're just wondering, okay, we wonder where the Taati is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, exactly.
It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. And each doll has a tag. I mean, even Demetra said, I haven't seen your doll in person, but she said that doll doesn't have anything on American Girl dolls. That's what she told me.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please go to the web. Kim, Christy, give them the websites and give them what to do again.
Okay. Whew. All right. So to donate to this campaign, you can go to GoFundMe.com, and it's under I Am Tamiko Give a Doll campaign. Or you can go to the website grace2be.com. It's GRACE2be.com. There's a homepage there. You can click on the link, and it will take you directly to the GoFundMe page. Our deadline is November 11th, so we will have time to customize the dolls with the clothing and have them prepared in time to deliver these dolls by Christmas.
For Christmas. Yes, and we forgot that we're making little Taati and Tamiko t-shirts for all the kids, and all the little boys are getting bow ties.
Little bow ties, yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Amazing. Oh wow. And it just gets better.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know what else to say, guys. I think that
Christy, give
right there.
Give the people just some words and some empowering words from you and the same from you, Kim, and we'll take it home after that.
Okay. Kim, you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, got it. No problem. Okay, so I would just like to say this is an awesome, game-changing opportunity. Anyone who is listening to this, we just hope that you feel the energy, the love, the integrity, just our response to do our due diligence and social responsibility. We are stronger together, and this is just evidence of how the power of collaboration works. And when you do it in love with integrity, it just flows. And so we just encourage everyone to support this campaign. It's bigger than any of us can imagine, and the impact is going to be lasting through generations. So we just ask that you take this campaign seriously to heart and contribute whatever you can, because a small portion can go a long way.
Nice.
Okay. And I think just to round off, I don't want to mess with that. That was just perfectly said. I think my favorite thing that has gotten me through the times and exams and anything else that I was working on, and also in line with this campaign and just contributing the little you have. My favorite saying, and I don't know who said it, but they said, no one has made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little. You have no idea how far a little can go. What little you try could be huge. Could be a huge difference for somebody else. So
yes. Wow. Yes. That's great. That's it.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you both. It's been an honor to hear and feel such energy, and
gosh, it was amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for Thank you for giving us a platform to get the word out. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely. It's an honor. And so people, it's your guy, Dave Eighth Note Mitchell, founder and CEO of Renew My Music and Media Group. And today was a day. Go to the website. Do it now. Do it before you have long to think. Think long, think wrong. Do it now. Do it now, okay? All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you all both.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. What an amazing show with two remarkable guests. Please log on to the website given, gracetobe.com. That's GRACE2BE.com. Log on today and sponsor a smile for a child in Namibia. This is Dave Eighth Note Mitchell, founder and CEO of Renewed My Music and Media Group. Keep in contact with us at our website, renewedmindmmg.com. Renew your brand, renew your image, renew your mind. Today was a special show. Thank you for listening. This podcast is owned and copywritten by Renewed Mind Music and Media Group. Any repost or rebroadcast is prohibited without written express consent by Renewed Mind Music Group and its entities. Thank you.